Rotary Club of Centennial. Could you all take a second and silence your cell phones, please? Jay Zing, would you like to give us an inspiration? Microphone.
Yeah. With all. You're all set. Good. All right. With all the things that have happened in the past, let's just keep some, have 30 seconds of silence and pray for all of that. Thank you.
Thank you. Is Kathy Smith here? There you are. Could you lead us in the pledge, please? Flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're going to kind of change things up a little bit today, so Gail Lehrman, could you rise and approach the bench, please? Gail is the foundation chair with the district. Let's get her a mic.
I'm good.
You're good? Okay. Okay.
Good morning, Rotarians.
Yeah.
It's a great day to be a Rotarian. I'm here on a very celebratory note. I'm taking only 1 minute of your agenda. I have 2 awards to give this club. This is Rotary Foundation Month, and it's very apropos to be here today. The first award I would like to give your club is a polio citation. You guys raised over $1,500 as a minimum. You did a great job with polio last year, so you've received a certificate that says Centennial is presented a certificate of appreciation for its financial support for End Polio Now, Make History Today. So this is for your 2016-17 effort to raise money for polio. And I want to give this to John. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
all of you, for participating in that campaign. The second award is one of high prestige. The presidential citation is very hard to get, and out of this district we only had 5 clubs last year that received the presidential citation. That includes a lot of hard work with the 3 stool legs that Rotary espouses, and that is membership, it is public relations, and it's fundraising. So I have an award here, 2016-17 Presidential Citation awarded to the Rotary Club of Centennial. You guys did an outstanding job, and please know you're in a very elite group within our district, one of 5 that received this award from Rotary International. So congratulations.
So this is really because of Randy Ernest. Now, he is not here today. He's in Hawaii, so don't feel all that bad for him. And more importantly, this is the 2nd time he's been to Hawaii in the last 3 weeks. One on the company dime and one on his dime. So I'll call you in a second. I would like to thank Jay for the inspiration, Kathy Smith for the pledge, Paul Horiuchi for setting up today, and John Wexler, I guess, is taking down. Karen Fleck did an outstanding job as greeter. I felt very, very well greeted. Couple of visiting Rotarians today. Gail Ayer, who you just met, she's got to duck out for a conference call, but she'll be back in a second. And then District Governor Abbas Rajabi is here. I will introduce him more formally later, but he's going to also be helping out with the induction of a new member here in a little bit. And DG Abbas will be our speaker today as well. On the guest front, Diana Y. Where are you, Diana? Stand up and introduce yourself a little bit.
I think I've made it to just about every table. I am a former Rotarian with the Rotary Club of Aurora for 7 years, and 1 year with the Downtown Rotary Club. I just opened up a business here in Centennial, which is why I'm looking at for this Essence of Life Massage and Wellness Center. I specialize in corporate health and wellness programs and also with massage therapists. So I'm honored to be here, and thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Diana, welcome. We met Diana at the business mixer that was at Tim Eunice's business last Thursday, was it? Friday, Thursday? So welcome, Diana. Thanks for coming. No birthdays this week and no wedding anniversaries this week. So that's interesting indeed. I'm very surprised at that. Let's get down to club business. Diane Zing, jump up and update us on Santa Claus.
We are so excited about our Santa Claus project. What started out as a project idea we stole from someone somewhere has become a district-wide project. Santa Claus, for those of you who are visiting, is a project where we gather money and Rotarian volunteers, and we partner with Kohl's department store to give children in a lesser situation a surprise Christmas shopping spree, where they get to have $100 worth of clothes that they choose, and it's quite a blessing for them and their families. We usually use just the Kohl's on Lone Tree, but we also now have Arapahoe crossings. So we have 5 clubs that are participating at this point. Highlands Ranch Sunrise, Littleton's In and Out, we have DTC, and then our club. So we are finalizing now the last logistics. Please mark your calendars. I will be going through and gathering more volunteers. The event takes place at 7 a.m. on Wednesday, December 13th at both locations, and we will need to split some of our volunteers because we have kids going in both places. We have intentions of starting our kickoff meeting in February for next year. We want to have a table at the district conference, and we want to start giving away our Santa Claus in a Hat project kits so that other clubs can run with the project and have blow-by-blow instructions. We really hope this takes off and becomes bigger because, unfortunately, there are too many children who need us. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Diane. Mr. Hope, could you update us on the Christmas tree project?
I put a couple flyers on the table this Saturday at the Arapahoe County Library District main office's parking lot. We will be receiving your gently used ornaments, no lights, we have lots of lights, and boxes to put things in for our Christmas tree giveaway, which is scheduled for December 10th. Again, thanks to Alan Jackson, who arranged for the storage container, and thanks to Jessica Seidner, who arranged for the use of the container at the Library District parking lot. I didn't bring a sign-up sheet for the actual events today. The critical day is December 9th, which is a Saturday, and that's when we're going to be putting all our packages together and getting ready for the distribution the next day. I haven't checked with my committee, but I think we're probably going to have a catered brunch and bottomless Bloody Marys and mimosas as an incentive for everybody. Not really.
That'll get a turnout.
The usual alcohol incentive to get people involved here, so I'll have those sheets, but it'll be a good time for all. We're putting everything together on that Saturday, starting at 9 o'clock. But again, this coming Saturday, bring your stuff for the storage container at the parking lot of the Arapahoe County Library District between 9 and 10:30. That's all I got.
All right, thanks, Ken. How many people know what date our holiday party is? December 2nd, save the date at the Heritage Eagle Bend Country Club. We're working on finalizing everything, but it should be a really nice setup. We've got a couple of different rooms. One we'll be able to run the auction in, and then the other to mingle. And then there's a quieter room off to the side that we can put anyone in timeout should they get a little out of control during the party. We'll probably get going about 5:30, but people are going to help set up on the auction. We're probably going to get going around 3. Health update. very good news. Yvonne Asuna is home already. The surgery, really no complications at all. For those of you who weren't here, Yvonne had a brain tumor that actually was in between the brain and the skull, and the doctor said, if you're going to get one, this is the type to get, and this is the place to get it. So she's resting comfortably and already on the mend. So Tom Buck has got a card going around for her as well, so if you get a chance, please sign the card. January 6th is the Rotary President's Dinner. Let's get a little bit of a head count at some point and try and get a table together as we register. So show of hands, who's interested in going to the President's Dinner? Okay. When is it? Perfect. It's going to be January 6th. Okay. $75 per person, and then they're also going to be requesting a donation to Polio Plus at the dinner as well, so keep that in mind. What else is happening on December 2nd?
District meeting or district training.
District Leadership Institute. How many people in here have taken level 1 of RLI?
How about, yeah.
Okay. How many have taken level 2? Okay. This meeting is going to be level 1 and level 2, so if you want to attend either one of those 2 levels, get on the district website and sign up. You especially, young lady. Oh, are they? I didn't think level 3 was till January.
Yeah, no, they changed it.
Okay. Well, you need to again. I'm just saying. Okay. All right. So anyway, there is a cost associated with going to RLI, but the club will reimburse you for that. So if you have any desire to get into a leadership position of this merry band of misfits at some point, please get signed up for RLI on December 2nd. Ann West.
Yes, thank you.
Good morning. Oh, good. Get to see lots of people by standing up. I asked to speak briefly about Meals on Wheels. We're doing pretty good. In fact, we have people going through just before Christmas, with the exception of December 1. And that's why I spoke with Jay. He's considering it. And Jay needs a partner if he goes. If not, then I need a couple to go. This is something that for the newbies, it's a way for you to plug in and start doing your service. Yes. What? Oh, well, forget that. Well, you're here. Oh, okay. Well, the Jacksons have just decided to join us. I don't think that was way easy. But if you're looking for something to do, talk to me, because I always have room for you on a Friday morning. Thank you.
Thanks, Ann. For those of you who haven't done Meals on Wheels and you can get away, it's actually really fulfilling. You get to meet a lot of people, many of whom are shut-ins or semi-shut-ins, and you might be the only person they see that day. So it's really kind of a fun project, and it only takes a few hours in the middle of the day on a Friday. Where is Mr. Heckel and Mr. Wexler? Would you rise and approach the bench, please?
Uh-oh. Peter finds it.
I know it's a little bit of a maze. So Kevin, under the expert tutelage of John Wexler, swing over this way so we can get you on camera, has completed all his requirements for his blue badge. So I will let you pin him and then grab the red one, because we recycle those bad boys.
All right.
Right. Great job. Thank you. All right. Thanks, John. Let me grab that. Or you can give it to Karen on the way back. Great. Thank you. One of the most exciting things about being president is when we bring in new members. So we're very lucky today because we're not only inducting a new member, but we have District Governor Abbas here to do the honors. So Angie O'Seely, rise and approach the bench, and District Governor Abbas. I want to see how an expert does this because I'm kind of a newbie.
Well, Angie, I want to welcome you to Rotary. You're in for a great big part. You just earned 1,200,000 friends all over. And at this moment, you're the very last Rotarian anywhere. Congratulations.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And I will be introducing, let's take a picture with your packet. Now, the membership certificate isn't in there yet because Karen Princeau's at work and she hasn't been at work because of her. There you go. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Mr. McCarty, I believe you may have a travel gift.
I do. After two 13-hour flights, two 6-hour layovers, a 2.5-hour flight, and a cab trip home from the airport at 2 o'clock on Saturday morning, I'm back from Madagascar. And in their original shipping containers, I have a baobab tree from the west coast of Africa. The baobab's in love. I have a recycle bicycle. We saw these made. They're written up in travel guides, and you visit this place and you watch this guy make these bicycles in about 10 minutes. Out of every piece is something recycled, and I'll tell you more about that later. And then this is the surprise package everybody has been waiting.
Coasters.
I have a necklace from stone from Madagascar. It's not one of the semi-precious stones that they mine there. Yes, it is a set of lemur coasters all the way from Madagascar, and they do marquetry, which is inlaid wood, and each lemur has a different scene from Madagascar. So they will be there on December 2nd.
Correct.
For your bidding pleasure. Thank you.
For those of you who are visitors or newer members that have never been to one of our holiday parties, we run a big auction every year that the funds go to Rotary Club of Centennials Foundation. And so how we do this is everybody who travels, they bring back a gift. Some are humorous, some are less humorous, but we have a lot of fun with the auction as well. So a word of warning, and Diane can attest to this, if you are not at the holiday party, you may end up buying a very overpriced good. Just saying, I mean, we've kind of throttled back a little bit. A few people got upset about paying $130 for a chocolate bar, but anyway, that'll be a lot of fun. Mr. Heckel, I believe you're doing Happy Bucks today.
All right, here we go. I hope everybody's happy today. I'm happy. So, unfortunately, there won't be any matching contributions by me today. But I will tell you I will not be threatening you with any bodily harm with a sidearm. I'm not carrying a weapon that you know of. Right, there you go. Okay. So, but I am happy, obviously, because I now have my blue badge. So that's one of my happy bucks. I've got another one for John Wexler, who's been an awesome mentor. So thanks, John. And then next week, I'm traveling to Tennessee to see my family. So that's my 3 happy bucks. So I'm very excited to see them all for Thanksgiving. So let's go around the room.
Good morning. I have a few happy bucks. One for Tim, thank you for hosting the Business Mixer. That was really a great time, really good turnout. And I want to thank Byron for donating the wine for the event. That was awesome. And I was able to take home a bottle of wine that has a gnome on it. And I love gnomes, so that was really great. I also have another happy buck because Diana is here. She came to the mixer, and I'm glad that she was able to join us. And I think there are a couple more people who will be joining us in the next few weeks. And then I have two because next Tuesday, right from here, I'm going to Hawaii for a week. So I'm very happy about that.
Say hello to Randy.
Yeah.
I'm going to see why he keeps going back there.
Yeah. If you take any more liquor home, are you going to have to get a liquor license? Because we're pretty close to that point.
Well, I'm happy for two reasons. The first reason is I'm just happy to be here this morning and back in the company of Rotarians. I truly appreciate and recognize the value of what it is that this organization does, so I'm happy for that. I'm also happy. I was a little bit sad when I had to get up at 5 o'clock this morning to make it to this breakfast meeting. However, I was happy when I looked in my rearview mirror and saw that amazing sunrise. So thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to experience that.
All right, I have two. One is for all the guests, and the second is that, last year today, our new location received a certificate of occupancy, so time flies.
I'm happy to be back where the shower head is on the wall where it's supposed to be. Hot water comes out of it. But I also, Governor Abbas, want you to know that there are Rotary clubs in Madagascar. I visited a Rotary Club in Manakara on the East Coast that we're going to partner with on our project to provide water wells in a village, and also visited one at Ansarabe.
I just wanted to give a happy buck for Tim for his business mixer. Very, very nice afternoon or evening at Tim's place, and to be able to see his business and to mix with other Rotarians and learn about their business. And also there, I happened to see Peter Blanksy, and he's back from his trip around the world, but his health is, he's having some, I think, some fairly serious health problems. And if you get a chance or you see Pete or want to contact him, it may not hurt.
I have $2. One I think will make the club very happy. I got notified this weekend that my new computer is on its way, so I can start in doing the newsletters again. Hopefully it arrives today or tomorrow. More importantly, the second $1 is for my 14-month-old granddaughter. Got out of children's on Sunday after being in for 5 days with croup.
Ooh.
I have a happy $1 because I'm happy to have met our district governor this morning and welcoming him to our club.
Welcome to our visitors and guests, and welcome to our district governor.
I have three. Number one, to Tim for his great business mixer, and to Byron for donating the wine. Second, to welcome our district governor, Abbas. And thirdly, kind of a sad football buck here, for the alumni of CSU, CU, Air Force, Kansas State, Iowa, and Michigan State, and the Broncos. Things will get better.
Can I do a travel gift now?
Oh, sorry.
I'll just do it now. We left last week sometime, I don't remember. Went to South Dakota because Charlie's sister was here visiting and had 48 states she'd been in, and South Dakota was one she hadn't been to. So we went back to South Dakota and The temperature ranged between 22 and 33 while we were there, but it was fun. We hadn't been back there since, I think, that 1980, so we had a great time. And we brought back a wrap.
I got a buck. I think it was about a year ago that I came to my first Rotary meeting, and I agree with what District Governor said. You got 1.2 million new friends. You guys have been awesome. It's been an awesome year, so glad to be here.
A happy buck that John made it back from Madagascar and didn't bring back anything with him like pneumonic plague. So,
well,
we were thinking about you. I'm glad to have you back safe and sound.
It's early yet, John. It's a 14-day incubation period. So let's talk again in a couple of weeks.
I have two. One for Kevin. Great to have you. And Angie, great to have you.
I have 5. Thank you to our visitors for coming. Also, my son's football team is done for the season, and to finish it off, they had a freshman girls powder puff game. Then I think they play better than the Broncos, so I think they're available for the rest of the season. So that's really good. And I'm also going to give an extra 5 because I'm so proud to be a member of a group that does so much in such passionate ways. John, you are amazing with everything you put into your trip. Thank you so much.
Like Paul, happy buck each for the club's latest, newest blue badge and red badge.
I've got 2. One is for all of our guests today. Thank you for joining us. The second one is if you're tired of watching the Broncos, on Sunday, our NASCAR driver, Martin Truex Jr., who drives for Furniture Row Racing, will be racing for the championship. He's one of 4 drivers racing for the championship on Sunday. So if you want to watch a champion, watch the race instead of the Broncos.
Is there a party at your house?
I have a happy buck for our president. He's done such a great job. I really appreciate everything he's done.
Thanks, Phil. You're making me blush, y'all.
Oh, good morning. I just want to thank you for the privilege of being a part of such an amazing group, making such an incredible difference in this world. Thank you.
I have one for Tim. Great party at your work. John, great trip. And Abbas, so good to see you today.
I have 5. The first one is for all of our guests that showed up, as well as our district governor. Thank you for coming. I'd also like to say thank you to everybody that did show up at the Business Mixer. It was a lot of fun. We had a pretty good turnout. Looked like about 35 people showed. Byron, thank you very much for donating the wine. And some of you know, last year my business won the Corporate Livewire Award, Best in Signage for Excellence in Innovation. We were notified on Friday we won it again this year.
Yay!
I have 3. One for our district governor. Thank you for coming. Our new blue badge member and our new future member.
I have 2 happy dollars. One's great to see Karen back and doing so well after surgery. And second one, I get to hike Waterton Canyon after this for the first time.
Oh, I'm jealous. Yes? I'm good without a mic. I've got a mic. I've got 5. First, Governor Abbas, thank you very much for coming today. We appreciate it. He's going to give us a rousing speech here in a couple of minutes. Another one for my lovely wife, Karen. She's really bouncing back from this partial knee replacement. She's not using the cane anymore, so I no longer have bruises along my side when she needs to get something. Tim Eunice, great job on the Business Mixer. Very much appreciate that. Angie, welcome. Thank you for being the newest of 1.2 million Rotarians worldwide. And last but not least, John McCarty, really appreciate you stepping up You know, it was a little concerning there just before he left when they announced this pneumonic plague outbreak, but he manned up along with his wife and went to Madagascar, and I think we will have an outstanding project there. So thank you, all of you. So without further ado, I'm going to address or introduce our speaker today. Abbas Rajabi is an American by choice. He grew up in Hamadan, Iran, in a large family. His passion for education brought him to the United States, where he pursued a degree in mechanical engineering. We know a recent mechanical engineering graduate, by the way, that lives upstairs in our house, that if you have a contact, that would be nice. He got a degree in mechanical engineering at the University of Texas in Arlington. After working at several large companies, Abbas decided that his entrepreneurial spirit was too strong to deny. He began several small businesses in Texas, South Carolina, and then Colorado, also while building a family. Most recently, he is the founder and president of Mohegan, did I pronounce that correctly? Mohegan Capital, a private real estate investment fund specializing in value add and income producing industrial real estate. Abbas is a very proud Rotarian. He believes Rotary is the most prestigious service, philanthropic, and networking organization ever. Abbas has a great passion for service. As tragedies erupted around the world, he channeled the power of the Rotary family to help those in need. Most recently, Abbas served on the district's flood relief committee, fundraising for victims of the 2013 Boulder flood. In 2002 and 2003, he was named District 5450's Rotarian of the Year and remains a committed Rotarian after more than 25 years. Abbas is married to Sami Rajabi, who he met in Iran while in high school. Their first big adventure together was when Sami joined Abbas in the United States over 44 years ago. She's involved in their business and uses her financial acumen and passion to help ensure a successful family business. They're also very proud of their 4 very accomplished children. The list of their accomplishments is probably too long to read. They're a very outstanding family. Without further ado, I'd like you to give a warm welcome to our district governor, Abbas Rajabi.
I apologize if I start today on a sad note, but you all have been aware of the events in Texas, Florida, and of course, Puerto Rico. Oftentimes, we see images on television and we passively go by and not think about them. Used to be that we read the news and our imagination got all engaged. Anymore, we become passive and somewhat jaded. So this morning, I ask you to use the power of your imagination. Imagine yourself in the shoe of the people down in the flood area and disasters. Imagine there is no clean water. Imagine there is no road to go to work. Bridges are gone. Imagine your house is gone. It's hard, but imagine. No food, shelter, or all the necessities we take for granted every day. Folks who have little means for alternative housing. Perhaps no insurance or ability to go to work. Some lives lost, some shattered forever. The suffering and the hardship that follows are hard on all, especially the children. Imagine a mom or a dad who cannot help a child. You don't have to imagine those. It's happening. Texas and Florida, Puerto Rico. And as I have been involved in a number of disasters, I can tell you that once the emergency first responders are gone, and they're there to save lives, people are left pretty much on their own. And it takes months and sometimes years for them to build their life back up. It's just very difficult. The displacement in areas of Houston is just enormous. I presented this little video and a short talk on the flood to as many clubs that I have visited, and I intend to do it to the end of the year, because I think as of even today, there are people who have no place to stay, no insurance, and it's very hard for people to work. I was involved in the Boulder flood. When you have no place to stay, when you don't have a clean water, it's hard to ask somebody to go to work and make it back up. They kind of have to build that back up. Our district has been very generous, and I know it's a drop in the bucket. When you compare billions of losses, our district, as of 2 weeks ago, had donated about $150,000. Between 4 districts, with my classmates that I have been working with, yesterday I checked with RI, there is a donors fund set up, and $550,000 was raised. So that makes a difference, folks. So be generous, do it on your own. John has information where you can make the donation, and please take a look at the short video. thank you for paying attention. Our son-in-law flew from Philadelphia down to Houston to help. They still can use volunteers. He said there were just hundreds of blocks of homes where the water had come up to 8 to 10 feet, and now the water had receded. They were emptying these houses, including the drywall. They were tearing up. Everything was in a black mold, mildew. They were putting them on a sidewalk. So I called Glenn and I said, "Where are you staying?" He said, "Oh, a couple of nights we stayed in a van. It was too far to go to the other side of Houston, and we were tired." And then I said, "What are you doing? Where are you eating? Where are you going tonight?" He said, "Well, a friend of yours came and just picked 6 of us. He's taken us to dinner." I said, "A friend of mine. Who is he?" He said, "Well, I don't know his name, but he's got a Rotary pen." You see, Rotarians are everywhere helping and are aware. Well, I want to thank you for making the time today to come. I used to be the club secretary, and I noticed the day that the district governor came, the attendance was low. And we had an early riser table. People would come, eat their breakfast, and they get out. Well, you're here. Thank you. You're giving me something that's very precious in my view. It's your time. We rush to get to meetings, to get here and there, and do what we have to do throughout our days and our lives, to the last minute and to the last breath. And we oftentimes wish and long for just a little bit more time. And we say, if I had a little bit more time, I'll call the brother I haven't talked to, I'll call a sister or a friend. I do that. I promise I will get to it. See, time is very, very precious. And you've chosen to give me some of that time. I have to make it up to you. But there is nothing that I can give you that would make up for that time. It's an amazing gift. Rumi, the Persian poet, kind of puts all this in a way that it makes sense. He says, "I'm so small, yet I don't know why. There is this great love within me." You see, the thing that would make up for the time, and time is element of a space and who we are in universe. Oftentimes I talk about distances in a universal scale, and you look at the sun and the moon and how far they are, and of course Hubble telescope now telling us the furthest planet is 165 billion light years away. Well, imagine yourself in a spaceship. If you move at the speed of light, you would circumnavigate the Earth 7.5 times in 1 second. Now, see that speed? Now keep moving for 165 billion years. Where would it take you? You see how insignificant I am, and we are. Planet Earth is not any bigger than a grain of salt in a scale of things. And as we talk about being, going, doing our things in life, how can we make it up except to care and to give back and to love people? Dr. Albert Schweitzer said it the best. He said, "I do not know what your destiny will be, but this I know. The only ones who will find true happiness in life are those who have searched and found how to serve others." And Rotarians have found a way to serve others. And I really and truly am proud of you. I'm proud to be a Rotarian. A couple of weeks ago, I got an email from Dr. Peter Ewing, past district governor. He said, "This I want you to know. There is a young lady by name of Caitlin Weber from our district. She is in Spain doing a fundraiser and helping people. I want you to find out who she is and recognize her. There is Caitlin Dad. Jay, thank you. And for those of you who hear some Rotarians from time to time that tell you, oh, we have all the people we want to serve right here in this country. And it's true, we do. And there are needy people here. I tell you that Rotary provides the best face of what America is all about all over the world. We often get a bad rap. This nation, by far, is the most generous nation in the history of the mankind. And what we do for others is endless. Take from eradication of polio to all others and innovation in drugs and technology and everything else. And when you go around, people don't realize that. The bad publicity overshadows all of these. And Rotary is there providing the best face that the country has to offer. And that really and truly makes me proud. Locally, Rotarians are aware of what's going on. I read in your newsletter a number of other clubs. We have this backpack project. And years ago, I started a backpack project sending school supplies to Afghanistan. I thought that's what it was. And how wrong I was. Here in our community, there are people who cannot afford to feed their children on a weekend if it wasn't for people like you and the Rotarian who put food in those backpacks and sent it home with the children. You become aware. So next time somebody put an initiative on the ballot to change the minimum wage, well, I know where the Rotarians stand. You try to feed a family of 4 with minimum wage, if it's possible. Rotarians make me proud all over. Right here in our community, I went to University Club and I met David Henninger. David has put together a truck with a water tank, a washer and dryer. He has this truck going all over town, stops at the cluster of homeless people and offer laundry service to the homeless. That is saintly, folks. That's amazing. He makes me proud to be a Rotarian, and as I'm sure you are. But we don't talk about what Rotary does. Somehow we keep it to ourselves. And then we talk about graying of Rotary. Mark, I make this plug for you. Do they have membership problem? Some places we do. But you see, you all have brothers, sisters, son-in-law, daughter-in-law, relatives, co-workers. How many of those you think would get the satisfaction in their hearts and would be amazingly happy that they are part of organizations such as Rotary? Let me have a show of hands. You know anybody who would enjoy to be part of an organization like this? Yeah, thank you. Well, bring them in. Thank you. I know. Your club is amazing. Your club, relatively a small club, but you're a mighty club. The project you're taking on is amazing. But we have to make this known. Rotary started as a place of networking. We should go back to our roots, to our values. We should network with fellow Rotarians. I have a daughter that works at the Children's Hospital in Boston. And she calls her, Dad, I finished the school. Well, I knew that. I stopped paying tuition. I have to buy a house. Do you know somebody in Boston? I said, well, I would look into it. I looked. The closest Rotary Club to Children's Hospital is Brookline, Massachusetts club. So I called the club. Larry answered. I said, Larry, I have a daughter there, needs to buy a home. You have a realtor in club that can help? It's funny you ask. I'm one. So Larry took my daughter Farah, and my daughter is not an easy customer. She had this poor fellow running all over town looking at how many homes. And in Boston, you bet over the asking price, whether it's 20,000, 50,000, 100,000. And these are the homes of about 700 square feet and about $800,000. So she's betting in this war of getting something, and poor Larry is trying to educate all of us on these things. They buy a house. Larry called me. He says, I see on your email that your business is real estate. I'm sending you a referral check. I said, Larry, you work hard for this thing. You don't need to pay me. He said, no, I really want to do that because this is how it works. I want to network with you. I said, I tell you what, you've heard of Hurricane Harvey? Write a check to Hurricane Harvey relief. And he did. So that's a great example of networking and a service. Happen all at the same time. So it is wonderful to network with Rotarians. I've traveled the world. I used to be in the mining business. I went to Bermuda to a mining conference. The conference was from Sunday to Wednesday. So who goes to Bermuda just to a boring mining conference? So I booked it from Sunday to Sunday. Well, Wednesday, the hotel hacked our bag. We kind of refused to do it, but we thought they would let us stay. They put our bag in the lobby, and they said, sorry. They had the concierge looking for rooms throughout the whole island. They couldn't find it. They had airlines to book the flight so we can get out of there. No room. I finally said, fine. We charter a boat and they stay on the boat. All the boats were taken. The only free one was coming back 11 o'clock at night. And then they had to clean it. So we said, can we go sleep in there? While we were waiting for all of these things in a lobby like this, I'm looking, there is a sign that says Rotary meets here at 12:30. And I said, what do I got to lose? I go to Rotary, have lunch. They had a microphone and they were broadcasting their meeting over the radio on the island. And they said, if you'd come from the furthest Rotary Club, you get to have a couple of minutes to tell us about your club. I said, what can I tell you about club? I'm all preoccupied. I'm homeless. So 2 people showed their hand and said, well, talk to us afterwards. This is the place, Angie, that I've never been in my life. I show up there. When I tell you, you have 1,200,000 friends. After the meeting, this fellow walks over to me. He says, my family flew out this morning. I'm flying out to New York this afternoon. Here's the key to my house, and here's the address. Well, we took a cab. At first, the cab started by this place. We said, no, this cannot be it. It's a mansion on the beach with the Olympic-sized swimming pool right there. Andrew, I still have his card if you want it. That's the world of Rotary. There is a trust. There is this amazing camaraderie and people who are out there to help you anywhere, anyhow they can. I've experienced that in Thailand, in Mexico, in Egypt, in Iran. I've traveled all over in Costa Rica, and I see that Rotarians are there to help you. And please, use that network. The networking is amazing. And use the network locally to put your friend over. How much time do we have? I'm sorry.
Good 10 minutes.
Okay. I tell you that if something hits you in your heart and in your mind that you try to do something, I oftentimes put this stuff in a kind of a poetic way as it moves me, and I share it with my club, and the club joins in. So here's a story of a place we visited in Mexico, and I tell you the outcome. Busy cooking, my mind wandered, lonely in the crowd, 47 children and 20-some adults. Ruth, the 9-year-old, came to Indiana Ralph. Beside the fire grill, she sat on his lap. With twinkle in her eyes and gay, "Mas pollo," she said. She was hungry, all right. She hadn't had a hot meal for a while. But the twinkle in her eyes, this sparkle of life, made a silent, profound statement. Mankind is kind. Love is within us. Whether you're from Early Mound, Minneapolis, or Denver, I love you the same. The children played and danced. Now they were tired, earthbound as we are, all retired to their dorm. Lights were off. Fire was gone. I walked through the orchard, filled with orchard blossom, toward the mobile home with Jim. Beside the casa, beneath the trees, suddenly I looked up. What a wonderful array of a star that shone. The twinkle on Milky Way. The darker the earth, the brighter the sky. Milky Way seemed within reach, and I thought a magic was present. Only if the twinkle in Ruth's eye could catch the twinkle on Milky Way. This is how sons are born. Now, lovely Ruth, look up. Let the magic happen. And all the world to see, you can create. You can give life to a son, new beginning. You have the capacity to love, to create, to give warmth and care. You have the ability of the God within you. Just look up, reach for the sky. Please, let the magic happen. As I was experienced this night, the next day I talked to the 10 Denver Rotarians from Denver Southeast, and I said, you know what? A 17-year-old girl coming out of an orphanage in Mexico doesn't have much of a chance of doing anything. Let's interview these kids and find out if they're college material. Well, we called somebody who could translate. 3-4 of us started interviewing the kids. We ended up providing a scholarship to 4 of them. Krista Reich, a Rotarian in our club, took upon herself to keep flying back and forth to Mexico and check their grades like you check the grades with your kids. And we really and truly changed the life of those kids. Rotary makes a difference. And I'm proud to be a Rotarian, as I'm sure you are. We need to tell the world that we are proud. This year's celebration is May 19 and 20th, right here at ETC Hyatt. You don't have to stay overnight. We try to make it cheap. There are flyers on the table. So please make a note of the date. The other thing that we have done with the House of Friendship, we're going to make this open to public. We're going to take all the high schooler and community to come and see the kind of projects you're doing. We're going to display those. And one more thing. It's the celebration of Rotary, and it's a symposium of Rotarian business. So while one side of the hall is display of our service, the other side of the hall is open to you, the business people, to display what business you're in and what services you provide to Rotarians and to the society. So keep that in mind. This is going to be a wonderful celebration. The other flyer I put on the table is the State of the State, but this doesn't talk about it. Actually is a symposium on mental health. Commerce City started these. It's taken off. You see a display of many services and professionals who are making us aware of what the affliction it is in our society with mental health. Like my daughter, who had 11 surgeries last year, said, Dad, people treat me as if there's something wrong with me. And she didn't have a mental health, but the stigma is there. And she used to tell me, Dad, I'm not my sickness. I'm not my anxiety. And she, through all those surgeries, managed to get a PhD, and now she's a fellow at University of Pennsylvania Annenberg School. People can overcome the stigmas and anxieties. So this meeting on December 7th is an amazing gathering of people. And of course, then we have Governor Hickenlooper as the keynote speaker, and Susan Klebold. She's the mother of one of the people who did the shooting at Columbine School. So I think it's going to be a wonderful meeting there. I thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate all that you're doing as a Rotarian. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have a couple of duties for you before you leave.
Yes.
First, one of the things we do, we're affiliated with a small charter school up in North Denver. Elementary school, they did not have a library, so we actually partnered with the Lodo Club, built a library for them, and then we provide books for them every quarter. So in the books, we put a book plate under the name of our speaker. So this is a copy of a book plate that will be in one of the books that we donate. Also, I'd like to know if the club were to make a donation in your name, where would you like it directed?
The Hurricane Relief Fund.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll talk about this at the next board meeting. And the last job for you, Jay does our blue marble drawing. So we're going to have you pick a ticket out of the hat. And the last three numbers are
788.
788. Sandra Abeda. Right. So she'll get a chance to draw for the blue marble. And what is the blue marble worth today?
350.
Come on.
There we go. Hold it high.
I didn't feel like I was right. Come on, Sandra. Blue. Blue. Right now. One more. Blue.
All right. Pot rolls over. All right. Great. Abbas, again, thank you very much.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Appreciate it. Would you all stand and join me in the recitation of the four-way test? For all we think, say, and do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Do good and have fun.